Hi.
Hi.
It's always weird. It's always awkward in the beginning.
You know, I know. I had a friend yesterday that said that Instagram was just making her loopy with the lives.
I know. It's good to
Hi.
see you. Hi, Josette.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
You know what? I have to say thank you so much. Thank you for showing up. This is like so out of the blue for me to start doing these things, but I really feel like there's so much crap being thrown at so many people right now, and I just wanted to get out there and throw some positive. And you're like the uplifter of the world. I know, I'm sorry you may not realize that, but everything that I've seen you do is uplifting people, whether it be, emotionally, if they go to a movie or like what you did with the store. You're just an uplifter, and I knew that sharing you with my community is just going to make everybody a little bit better off.
Oh, you are so sweet. Thank you. And I have to say that you have been a big part of this year for me. And I see you in the same way. I mean, your story is so inspiring to me, but I got so emotional the first time when you started doing your live streams, because I love coming to your class in Santa Barbara. We have a house there, and so we're there sometimes. And I don't know if I've met you there, but I don't know if you like connected the dots, because usually I hide in your class. And I know I'm not supposed to do that. Like, you want us to do the opposite. But I've always been so inspired by your light and your energy, and your class is just so beautiful. And the first time in the midst of this odd, strange year that I got to participate in that in Tennessee was so emotional, because you were able to connect us all from so far away, and you keep doing that. And I'm just so grateful to you. You're just so beautiful. Your light is so beautiful, and I'm really grateful. It's meant a lot to me and to so many people. And then you also were doing it for free for a while. I mean, you've just been such a giver for the community.
Thank you. Ditto. I mean, we could just go back and forth. Thank you.
Yeah.
But, Zumba saved my life. Zumba,
yeah.
That connecting with people and that celebrating of each other it's been life-changing for me. And I knew that when I came to like the dark night of the soul, and I really kind of made my intention for my life to be about just uplifting people, just trying to make the world a little bit better. I could care less about stuff or things or accumulating things or anything. I just wanted to put a smile on people's faces. And I know you and it's really funny. I was looking at your bio. You're a Virgo. I'm the 16th. You're the 14th.
Yes.
You're from Westchester. I'm from Queens.
Are you serious? Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
We're New Yorkers.
We're New Yorkers. You don't sound like a New Yorker anymore.
You don't either.
No, I know.
Queens. Like, you could have a serious accent if you wanted.
Only if I wanted.
Now you're a Santa Barbara girl. That's a big switch.
I came out here my senior year of high school. My brother was going to UCSB, and my drama coach in New York. I was a dancer, but I was doing musical theater, trying to kind of break into all. We're creative, so we do everything. I studied the whole commercials with the this and the that, and then I was doing musical theater, and my acting coach said, you should come to LA. My wife and I have a house. And I thought, there's no way I could come. I mean, can I, no. And I said, I have a brother in Santa Barbara. I'll go there. And I just never made it down to LA. I went to UCSB, and I started dancing, and I did beautiful theater here at CC and at the Marjorie Luke. And I just kind of found my happy.
Wow. And so are you just doing the outdoor classes right now?
Just doing, 2 classes a week outside, and doing more of this. I mean, I'm just trying to bring the community together. So many people are still afraid. So, and I'm live streaming them as well. So, just Zumba is keeping its sanity. It's sanity for people. And it's become like a survival for me and a survival for a lot of people. Are you still dancing? You should be.
I need to get back into class.
What are you doing, Sam? You're not dancing?
No, I need to. I mean, I grew up dancing. I grew up doing ballet and modern dance, and I had one dancing job that I was paid for. I got paid $50. And then right after that, I got my first movie and just like started getting more into acting and never went back to dance. But dance still connects me to joy. I mean, I totally relate to what you say when you talk about just experiencing joy and expressing joy. And what I love about your class is like the cross section of people expressing their joy is so amazing. And it's not about looking at what everybody else is doing. It's just about like being in your body and being joyful. And so dance still does that for me. And I need to like get back into your class and do that again. But I mean, we have dance parties all the time. And, you know, I mean, I love dance.
What are you doing now? How are you filling your days? Are you in Nashville?
Yeah, we're in Tennessee, and you know, my kids are at home. They're doing homeschool, which we were doing anyway, but now they used to go 2 days a week and be in a class with other kids, and so now everything's on Zoom. So I feel like I've had to step up and just be there for them more.
How are you doing? I'm really like, Tomas is 12, and
Yeah, well, I have a 13-year-old, which is hard because at that age they really need to be around their peers. And I do find like they're relying on me way more than I ever relied on my parents emotionally at this age. You know, I'm like their emotional touch center, like base. And that can be exhausting, but I also am so grateful for that time. And I know so many people have to be out of the house and working. And so it's such a blessing that I get to be at home with them and interacting with them and knowing their ins and outs of every single day. But yeah, there's not a lot of me time. So
yeah, for sure. And you have two kids, yeah?
I have two. Yeah, I have a 13 and 11, two boys. So you know, I mean, to stay sane, I'm walking a lot, getting outside and walking a lot, listening to books on tape. I guess that's an old-fashioned way to put it, like audiobooks. And journaling and
books on tape.
yeah.
Old-fashioned. I think you're younger than me.
I don't think so. But yeah, like reading and, you know, just like trying to, and then, you know, doing things like making bread with my 13-year-old, which I've loved this year, slowing down and really noticing things that I've never noticed before, like the change of seasons, specific change in seasons. Because usually it just hits me like we're all over the place. My husband's a country music artist, so he's touring everywhere. I'm acting in different places and doing different projects, so we're always just like a traveling circus. And it's been really wonderful to just like breathe and be here and notice very subtle differences in the environment as we move from, I mean, we're coming up on almost a year here because we started sort of quarantining and being closed off in March. So, you know, noticing the change of seasons from the winter into the spring and the summer, and I think that's really been healthy for me, to breathe a little bit more and then do something like make bread, which to me is like such a soulful thing. I've never attempted to do something like that before. But with bread, you've got to feed the starter. No, you know, everybody did it. Everybody did it for a long time. Did you do it?
I know I've tried once and it was an epic fail. It's not easy.
It's not easy. So you have to have so much patience. You've got to feed this little starter and talk to it and, you know, like give it sunlight. I sang to it. I danced for it.
You're putting that little positive spark in a way.
And it gave back. And just like the feel of the bread and waiting until the starter's ready to be made into bread. You know, it's not always ready. And anyway, so these sorts of lessons, I think just focusing on what is the good that's coming out of it.
Right. And
really helps me.
Totally present, because that's also such a big gift about right now is we're not able to like see into the future because nobody knows. So it kind of forces us to be right here, right now. And then especially with the kids, to kind of be right there and how can we be better. I know for Tomas, I've yanked him out of school so many times this last week because I see him like just staring at a computer screen. I can't handle it. luckily we're in Santa Barbara, so I just say, let's go for a hike in the mountains, or let's go for a walk on the beach, and let's do something creative. Let's build a sandcastle. Let's get together. So you're right, the silver lining has been awesome, right?
Yeah, and has he been in class at all in person, or it's all been online all year?
He hasn't. We're in California. He was. I stopped giving him vaccines a couple years ago. So he had all his vaccines up until I think he was 8, and then I guess we were missing 2. And so I'm literally having to process how I'm gonna, tail him, take him in, because now if the kids want to go to class, they have to have all their vaccines.
Right.
So that's been and I'm not an anti-vaxxer per se. I just want to know what I'm putting in my child's body.
Yeah.
And I want to have some sort of sovereignty over that. So I'm just doing some research, and he's okay right now, homeschooling. He's happy. Yeah. I schedule play dates. I'm really good at, like, you've got a play date here, he's got a play date.
Yeah.
Here, so.
Well, we were really diligent about that too, but not now. Not anymore. It's just, it's just hard to, we have people who are compromised that are in our pod that we just feel like we really want to protect from the virus. And so we've had to, just do a lot of online play dates, which, is not the same thing, but
luckily he's got, you, and you're a creative, so you're going to keep, there's more than bread, I'm sure, in your bag of tricks that you're coming up with to do. Are you doing any, like, improv games? Tomas loves to do improv.
You know what we do is we play, have you ever played the game Mafia?
Oh, I love
being from Queens, you might love it.
I was just going to say, you're talking my language, honey.
Oh, you got to get on a Mafia game. But so my kids did that online for a while, and they're due for another one. But Brad and I have been doing it quite a lot. It's this, like, group game where a couple people are mafia, and then other people are townsfolk, and you basically try to figure out who the mafia are. And we get a moderator, and you close your eyes, and then someone is taken out in the night, and then when you come back, you try to figure out who did it. And honestly, it's like such a fun improv creative game that's also kept my brain kind of sharp during this time. So I highly recommend that. And the kids have loved doing it too with their friends. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good way to interact.
And in all of this, you've created impact in your community. I see the store. I love this. Now, Barbara Tullifson is like my hero. Obviously, in Santa Barbara, she's everybody's hero with the Unity Shop. I was back in the 90s. I used to answer phones for the telethon.
Did you?
And then I would sing alongside Kenny, and he would have those big. I don't know if you were here when they would do these big telethons, and they would have all the celebrities come in. Olivia Newton-John was there, and everybody would come and support Barbara's work. And
that's great.
In Nashville.
Yeah, well, we were inspired by Barbara and Unity Shop. That's what got the whole thing started. So we owe so much to Unity Shop, and we're so sad to hear of Barbara's passing recently. And she just did so many amazing things for that place and for Santa Barbara, and taught us so much about how to create the store. So we brought our kids into Unity Shop years ago, like, I don't know now, 6-7 years ago, and longer. And of course, when you go into Unity Shop, they always have an opportunity for you to volunteer if you want to show up and volunteer. And so my kids were learning how to bag beans and stack the shelves and barcode, and they were checking people out, and they loved it. And we loved it, and we saw that people were able to shop with dignity. Instead of getting a handout, they were able to make choices for their families, and their kids were able to see their parents making choices in a position of power. And it just made so much sense. And it was my husband, Brad, who said, we've got to do this in Nashville. So a few years ago, we started getting really serious about it. We partnered with Belmont University here in town, and we created the store, and we called it the store because we wanted it to be that normal experience. So we wanted kids to hear their parents say, oh yeah, we're going to the store, and it's the normal. And we opened just like a week before the tornadoes hit Nashville, which was just devastating here, in the beginning of March 2020. And a couple weeks later, of course, the pandemic. And so we've had to pivot much more than we ever thought we would. But also the blessing is it opened just in time, just in the time of real need, as the need has grown in the course of the year. And, you know, by the end of this year, there's going to be 50 million people who are food insecure in this country, which means they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And there's going to be about 1 million Tennesseans who are food insecure. So
that's unthinkable.
Yeah.
And it's unconscionable. I can't even imagine. But I think here's the thing. There's people like you everywhere. We're all in here trying to create impact. And I think it's so important to show what you're doing and even what I'm doing, because I'm not, nobody knows who I am, luckily.
That's not true.
Nobody knows who you are, but it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or if you can create impact in the community. And I love the way you and Brad have actually just taken the bull by the horns and just said, you know what, we're doing this. And it's kind of like the other day I put a post up. I was teaching a class in the park in Santa Barbara, and all these Franciscan friars came.
I saw that.
With these boxes, and they were kind of dancing around. They've been coming to the park every Wednesday for the last 12 years.
Oh my gosh.
Food to the homeless.
Oh my gosh.
Talking to them and asking what they need and seeing if they need a mental health advocate or anything. And I thought, this is the stuff that we need to share. And this is where I want to get involved in, because I'm not about this, you know, because the reality is that there are a lot of problems right now. It's immense and it can be overwhelming. But if we can take a bite out of it and create our own impact of positivity and, hey, what can I do? You know, then that's all we need. If everybody just kind of came forward and said, I'm gonna just do my own part, then we can solve as a humanity, not waiting for some big government to show up, as a humanity to come in and to just show up with love. So I'm so grateful because you're inspiring me, and I know you're inspiring a lot of people to help with this. The food issue is unthinkable for me. It's unconscionable.
Thank you. I know it is. And it is really easy to get overwhelmed during this time and think, how can we possibly face all of the issues and all of the problems? But you're right. Love the people in front of you, you know, do something in your own neighborhood. And you're absolutely right. There are so many people who are doing such great work all over the country and all over the world. So, you know, grab onto one of those or create your own. But there is so much to be done, and we have to just bite it off one bite at a time. You know,
that's all we can do. And that's another reason why I wanted why I asked you to come on and have a chit chat with me, is because I wanted people to know that they're not alone, that we're all in this together, and it doesn't matter where we're at. We're all seeing it through our own glasses and through our own lenses. But just to show up as we're here, and we're all kind of, I sent an email out the other day where I was just saying, I lost it. I mean, I sat on the couch and sobbed for a good hour and a half. My poor husband was like, do you just need a drink? Should I get you some wine? He's like pouring me the biggest glass of wine, and I'm sobbing. And I'm like, I don't know how to make any of this better. It's just too much. It's overwhelming. Like I get to the point where I'm like, I don't want to get out there because I don't want to get sick. I don't want my family to get sick, but I don't want to be run by fear. But, you know, there's all these different emotions that are going on. And then I realized the minute I sent that email out, I got 100 emails back going, that's exactly how I feel. And thank you, because I needed to know that I wasn't alone in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that we're all just taking, like you said, one bite at a time, one chunk at a time, one foot in front of the other, one little booty shake and woo, woo, you know, and do
yes,
we can to just bring light.
Yep, absolutely. And it's a day by day thing. And it's some days I feel great about it and I feel like, yeah, I'm doing it. Or I feel like we're making a difference, or I had a good day today. I got out of bed, you know, I showered, woo, which isn't today, by the way. I did not shower today.
My goodness, you look stunning.
I did my face for you. Yeah, I put my lipstick on. I mean, who needs a shower? And who needs pants, by the way? I mean, that's one thing I love about 2020. Hashtag who needs pants.
Okay, wow. This is going viral.
But my point is, some days are easier than others, and some days I don't want to get out of bed. And I just think, you know what? This is a day when I need to stay in bed. And sometimes I can do that. And we're lucky. Once again, there are a lot of people that can't do that. And my heart goes out to them. And I'm so grateful for the people on the front lines, including my brother, who is a firefighter, and it's his birthday today. So I have to give him a shout out.
Happy birthday. And he's a beekeeper.
Yeah.
And I'm like a bee advocate. I'm a bee person. I love bees.
Oh, do you raise them?
I don't. Sebastian did. My husband is from Argentina.
Yeah.
And he's literally like the country cowboy from Argentina. People meet him and they're like, he's like Crocodile Dundee from Argentina. He literally has his knife in his pocket and
oh my gosh, that's amazing.
But he raised bees in his little village in Argentina. I say little village, he's probably mad at it, but yes, it's a little village in Argentina. We went there last year and some of the kids were still riding their horses to school.
Oh wow.
Like, whoa, this is crazy. But he kept bees there, so we talked to the bees.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, your brother is out on those front lines, huh?
Yeah, but that's another really soulful thing is the bees. I've been out there with him, and he'll give me all the gear, and we'll go out and well, he's got Italians. I think they're Italians. They're the nicest. Right. And I'll hold my hand over them, and you can feel them humming and buzzing. And he's taught me so much too about the hive and how the hive works for the good of all, and everybody in the beehive contributes. It's everyone has their own role, and they work together, and they're just such beautiful creatures and so necessary for the planet. And they're endangered now. So Jay teaches classes on beekeeping and sells his honey, and he's making a big difference with these little creatures.
Oh, happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
And how are you spending the holidays?
So we're going to stick around here, and we're getting festive. I have a tree. I have a tree up.
Your Ashley video. It was beautiful.
Yes. We're just going to do what we've been doing. I mean, we're going to try to be extra festive. We're going to keep up our Christmas decorations probably well past New Year's, because who has the energy to take them down? And just try to celebrate and play every day. We try to play as a family. Do you guys do that too? Yeah. So where do you guys, how do you play as a family?
Again, I'm lucky because I married an Argentine cowboy. So for his job, he trains horses. He's a retired polo player. And he teaches polo to kids now, and his hobby is just to go get green horses and work them and train them. So we spend our days with the horses.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's fun. So Tomas's, he carves, he gets sticks, and he whittles them into little swords or knives, and has like this whole like a closet full of sticks that he's whittled into knives, and we hike and we do a lot of playing with the horses in the nature.
Now, did you grow up with horses in Queens? So how did you learn about all of that?
It was one of I was 30 something years old. I won't go into that, but I remember sitting in church one day going, all I want is a good looking guy.
Check.
Some horses, and I thought I'd been doing pretty good. Maybe in college I was a little crazy, but come on. And then I did the one thing that I've realized was catalyst to everything is I give it all to you. I give up. I let go. I'm tired of dating. I give up. Funny, horses, good looking, tall would be great. I'm out of here. You take care of it. And in a week I met my husband.
Are you serious?
He didn't speak a word of English, though, and it was awesome because I thought, this is perfect. I don't have to talk to the guy. He's got horses. I can go riding. He's just going, hola.
And you didn't speak Spanish?
No, that first year we say was the best year of our lives.
That's amazing. Do you know that we have a similar story? I was like not in church, but I was at home praying and wrote down on a piece of paper everything that I wanted in a partner. And for me, it was right after 9/11. And I just felt like I'm done with this. I'm ready to meet my person. And I started praying very specifically for that person, but I also wrote down what I was looking for. And now I wish I'd been a little more specific.
I know my husband always says that. He goes, you couldn't have asked for somebody with a lot of money? And I'm like, that was not.
Like, someone who loves to do dishes would have been nice, but whatever. Anyway, but so I started just like putting it out there into the universe with like, it was like my whole heart and soul.
What was your list?
I said someone who's passionate about what they do, who's very close with their family, like a family person, someone who's trustworthy, and someone with a sense of humor. You know, those were like the main things. Someone with a sense of humor and passion and loves what he does. And then I started praying specifically that he would have a good day. Even though I didn't know who he was, I knew he was there. So, you know, I hope he has a good day today. I hope that he gets done what he needs to do so that we can meet each other. And he showed up a month later. He called me a month later.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
So those intentions mean a lot, you know, when you put intentions out there, even if we don't know what the final outcome will look like, the intention is what matters.
And then also letting go.
And letting go. Mm-hmm.
So I asked you this question, and when I told you I was doing this, I'm going to ask you, if you had the attention of the whole world for a few moments, what would you want them to hear from you? Sorry, I didn't mean to get that serious. I just thought I'd have to ask it before you say you gotta go.
One of my mantras that I repeat all the time, and I wrote in my book too, I learned from my therapist years ago, but it still holds true. Turn anger into compassion and fear into faith. So there's a lot of anger in the world. There's a lot of, I mean, I feel it too, but trying to transform the anger into compassion, and the fear, there's also a ton of fear right now, into faith. So that's something that I repeat all the time. And apart from that, keep your sense of humor.
Humor is important. How do you turn fear into faith?
That is a great question, and it's different every day. You know, sometimes it means taking a risk. You know, my sister and I used to walk through puddles in Cape Cod. We used to go there for the summers, and there were these roads with huge potholes. And in the summertime, like gigantic, like 10-foot long puddles would form. And we would take off our shoes and we would link arms and we go, walk of faith, walk of faith. And we'd walk barefoot through the puddles. And the way they looked, it looked like you would fall down, like you could fall 10 feet into that puddle. And who knows what was on the bottom of those things. My point is, sometimes it's just taking that step and going for it and seeing what happens and taking risks and having faith that you're going to be okay.
Wow, I love that.
And then as far as anger into compassion, I find meditation helps a lot with that. You know, deep breathing, meditation, just not engaging too much. It's a daily practice, but not engaging in anger, not entertaining it as much as I'm entertaining compassion.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of tools that we can pull out. For me, Daddy Yankee. A good phone, Daddy Yankee. You've heard him a million times in my class.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Daddy Yankee can turn anger into like vapor in a second.
Yeah.
Dancing, moving meditations for me.
Yes.
That's kind of where Zumba pulls in also, because I was able to shift from my own fear when I was sick to total trust in a Zumba class. And it's funny how when you can get out of your head long enough to connect with your heart.
Yeah.
In your heart, I think of the truest sense of who we are. I don't think that we have fear or anger. I think that our heart is always going to show us that there's always there's no reason to be afraid, and there's always something to be not angry about. Like there's no reason for anger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Zupa!
Zumba! I got to get back and do that class. It's been a little while. It's been a minute. I need to get back.
Are you ever able to come back to California, or you don't want to come back right now since we're on lockdown?
No, I absolutely want to come back and do that, especially if you're doing the outdoor class. When are you going to start that up? You're doing that still now, right?
I'm doing it Wednesdays and Saturdays.
That's great. So they haven't stopped you from doing that.
No, and we're at Chase Palm Park, and that has a capacity of 3,000. So I'm limiting it to 70, and we still have tons of space, and we're right there on the beach, and it's been really, really awesome. Not easy to dance on grass. Yeah. But whatever. I mean, it's.
And people just stay apart on their own.
Yeah, people are just, they get it. I'm lucky because Dr. Kathy Brewer is in our class, and she is one of the deputy health officials for Santa Barbara County. And she comes religiously to every class. So she's like, y'all are okay, 6 feet, we're outside, and she's got all the, you're okay. So, and a lot of people are able to come and talk to her.
Yeah.
And try and kind of get a little bit more clarity about how this is, how to be safe, really.
Yeah. That's great.
She talks a lot about vitamin C and zinc and all of these other natural supplements that we can also do to help, boost our own immune system to kind of take the fear level down a bit. Because I think fear and anxiety and also the lack of community is really a struggle for a lot of people. The loneliness is, along with the food and the financial impact, the emotional impact is really difficult.
Absolutely.
But that's why we're here.
Yes. Well, it's so good to talk to you. And I can't wait to just like come into your class again and see you in person. And I'll try not to hide as much.
And now, you know what? First of all, thank you. I know you're super busy, and I'm so grateful that you came on to talk to me. But there's a sisterhood also that goes on with uplifting each other, and I'm just so grateful to be part of that. I'm totally stoked that you're a New Yorker and you're a Virgo like that. And our husbands would probably have some fun together too. I think they would.
I think they would for sure.
Would just be sitting having their cocktails and.
I love it. A couple times I saw that he like crashed your Zoom. Like he would come with his horse behind you when you were doing it at your house. Was that your house?
Yeah, I live at the Polo Club, so yeah.
That's amazing. And he would just like photobomb your Zoom. That was the best.
It's so funny. He was he's good friends with Nacho Figueras, who's the Ralph Lauren model, and they have no idea. Like he doesn't even understand that he might be attractive to people. And I'm like, come on, now I'm like, get in a picture. Come on, show people how happy, show people joy, show people horses. And he's so anti getting on the film. But yeah, I'm pretty lucky. As are you.
Brad likes to ride. Well, he had a back issue, so he hasn't in a little while. But when we were dating, I came here, and like the first time I ever came to visit Nashville, he took me to George Jones's house. You know George Jones, the country singer, legend. He took me to his house because he kept his horse at George Jones's house, and we went riding in the woods. And at one point, my horse stopped, and I kept going, and I flew off the horse. And Brad jumped off his horse and came running to me, and I cracked a rib, but it was like so chivalrous. Like I was like, oh my gosh, he's so sweet. He just came running up, and he helped pick me up, and the horses took off, and it was like the beginning of our courtship. So
oh my God.
Horses are amazing, but they do scare me a little bit. I haven't embraced them as much as you have.
Well, I ride, if I ride them, they need to be like 150 years old and not
Yeah.
want to go. That's my, like,
And will you like gallop and canter and all that? No. Okay. All right. Well, I can walk. I can
Yeah.
walk on a horse. That's fine.
that's it. That's all I do. I have a pretty old dressage horse that doesn't like to do much of anything. So she's totally my style. Like,
That's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I literally, a bomb could like land in front of her and she'd just stand there.
That's good. That's perfect.
That's the. I love you. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you so much. And I also have to give a shout out to Jenna Hayden, who first brought me to your class, who I love, who is also so inspiring and spreads so much light in the Santa Barbara community. And without her, I never would have come to your class. So Jenna, I appreciate you, Jenna.
I actually have a call into Jenna because she's going, I'm hoping to engage her to help me with Tomas because she's a teacher.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's, I see her posts about taking the kids to the beach, and she's got it going on. She knows what, and she's another uplifter.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
So cool.
Anyway, I love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
you too.
Bye.
Bye.